No, it's exactly what you think it is. Yeah, I basically hooked up with the psycho. Well, not in the same way you're assuming. Like this isn't like a toxic ex or a crazy like girlfriend who just happened to be a psycho and like she didn't slash my tires or follow me home kind of thing. I didn't have to get a restraining order. But I'm getting a bit off topic. Let me start from the beginning, huh? Because otherwise it's be a little bit tricky to explain. So, a couple years ago, when I was still traveling out and about, before I started officially working as a mercenary, I was just going wherever the wind took me, as the wind gods do, praise be. And I found myself outside of a cafe, little local one in their area, and my sweet tooth was kicking in. I wanted some cookies and coffee, so figured I'd go in, grab something, and that's kind of where I went into her while I was waiting in line. Cute lady, short, looks pretty good in green. I wasn't sure if it was natural or if she dyed it, but it looked good on her. And she had the prettiest purple eyes you'd ever see, like a pair of shiny amethysts. Just mwah, chef's kiss. Lovely. And you know me, I see someone I like, I lay on the charm a little bit, and we just started talking from there. And that talk led to, well, her couch. And I guess you guys can guess how the rest of that went. So, afterwards, it was more along the lines of, I'll be seeing you, but I guess I got a little bit soft in that scenario, so I took a phone number and we decided to keep in touch. But don't get it twisted, I wasn't just using her for that little bit of, that little pound of flesh on her hindquarters. No, we actually did discuss a few things here and there, like who she was, for instance. Her name is Alex. Well, maybe it was short for Alexis. I wasn't really 100% sure. Never. I just have. That's why I have her saved as on my phone, and never did ask her last name. I don't know why. I just keep forgetting to. And so I asked her a few things here and there. What she did for a living. Turns out she's an artist, and when she's not drawing art, she's basically like I guess a travel vlogger. Like she just goes around too. And she just shows off stuff. And when she's not doing that, she does little art streams. Makes her a nice little profit here and there. So she got her own spot. At, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Next time we hooked up or interacted with each other was like a couple months down the line. I circled back to the city just to see how she's doing. Went to the beach, grabbed a drink, nice times. Learned a bit more about her too. I wondered about the scars on her back, and I shouldn't have asked about the scars on her back. Bit of a somber note, that one. However, afterwards, though, little things here and there, I was like, okay, what got you into like the piercings and everything, and the music. She's a huge rock head, so she liked this like the designs, the styles, and she thinks the piercings are cute. So I flick them every now and again. She hates when I do it, but I can't help it. She'll be talking, and every now and again I'll just like lean in, and all you hear is a little. It makes her mad though, but she's so cute when she's angry. It's like a little gremlin just being pissed at you. And that was fun. And for some reason, I don't know what it is, we seem to have a fondness for fireplaces, couches, and the occasional shower. I guess we both have a type. Now, this sounds nice. You must be wondering, didn't you say she was crazy? It sounds like she's relatively, normal. And you'd be right. So that's what I kept thinking. Until next time I saw her. Rinse and repeat, couple months down the line, I ran into her on a rooftop. We were just hanging out. I don't know why she was on the roof. I think she was just sightseeing. And so I sat down next to her, we put some music on, and we just started to talk. See how each other's have been doing, so on and so forth. She's been doing pretty good with her job, and she even showed me a few of her drawings. She even made me a little logo for my face. And as you can guess, I was pretty attached to that. I thought it was lovely. And, well, I found a nice way to thank her. Now, the part that caught me off guard was the post thanking. It was more along the lines of I was getting ready to head out and just made a crack about her size. Same thing. I tease her for being short. Playfully as it goes. And she took an axe to my head. I don't really know, I don't know how to. She had a literal, like, the kind you cut down logs with, and she went full tilt, flying through the air, stark naked, and tried to, land it in the back of my skull. Now, luckily, I'm used to people with weapons coming at me, so I was able to avoid it. Once the initial shock wore off, when she was going for another swing at my face, I immediately disarmed her and knocked her out with it. Now, again, conversations are typically normal between us. Never really saw any signs of instability. But again, I didn't know. Maybe I just didn't know her as well as I thought I did. Now, I was going to just call the cops on her. But it probably would have been harder for me to describe. One, because I'm a complete stranger in their eyes. Two, she was already passed out naked with a bruise on her face, so that probably wasn't gonna look very good, especially if I had to restrain her afterwards. And three, I kept thinking maybe this is a misunderstanding. Maybe she had some kind of an episode or something that we just hadn't talked about prior boiling up to the surface. So, just got some like jackets and clothes and basically makeshift bindings and tied her down to a chair. When she woke up, I confronted her about it because typically most women that want to kill me only do it after I leave the area. So she didn't really give me an answer. She said she didn't even know what happened. She just blacked out. And so I thought she was messing with me. But she said she genuinely doesn't remember. She said we were talking and then we went downstairs from the roof. And then everything got kind of fuzzy. So I thought, okay, potential brain damage, or maybe she just has a bout of psychosis. Who knows? So I, I basically just, I hate that I had to do this, but I started rooting around through her house. Any kind of medical records, any kind of, like, maybe she was an escaped inmate at a psychiatric ward. Maybe she had some kind of medication she wasn't taking. But no, there was nothing at first. So, after, letting her out, we eventually agreed that, okay, she needs to go to a doctor, see what's up with her. And, took her to a psychiatrist, therapist, every kind of piss down the line, see if they could prescribe her anything, see if they could figure out what was up with her. And they weren't 100% sure either, or at least not without trying to overcharge me again and again and again for multiple trips. And I told them, if I wake up dead the next morning by that, I'm going to be upset. Because I don't have that kind of time. And obviously, if it's not me, it could be somebody else. And they might not be able to dodge the axe. And that would suck if she went to jail. So we started crafting some theories and some plans. And I was like, was it something that happened from when she was younger that she's repressing? She didn't want to talk about it. So I was like, okay, is it something that involves me? She said no. I was like, okay, well, let's try something a bit simpler because she said, because typically throughout most of the time, she's normal. But there's that 1% of time where she just sees red or something, goes ballistic. So I basically just insisted she keep going to therapy and maybe try to see if that can hatch something out. Same thing with psychiatrists. I don't want to ship her off to a loony bin just yet. At least not until I can figure something out. But I need a stronger mind than mine to put this stuff together. Because again, that was when I was awake. If she goes after me while I'm asleep, that's a problem. And not one I can easily just roll out of bed to handle. But it wouldn't be me if I gave up so quickly. There just has to be something I'm not trying, something I'm not seeing. But I suppose it wasn't as bad as the last time this happened. Or not the last time, the time after. Because that time she used a knife. And she actually got me. She got me pretty good. Was wasn't wasn't sure about that one. Now I did heal up afterwards, and I did manage to get away. And she called me when she came down, I guess. But at that point, it was too dangerous for me to go back. At least not without the right kind of protection. So what we decided to do was simple. Well, it was simply hard, I guess. We both agreed to go our separate ways, at least for a while. I'll keep looking into her condition while I can. She'll keep doing her therapy and check on her mental health to try to figure out what's going on. But I don't know. I do miss her from time to time. And I wonder when's the next time we'll see each other. If there's a next time we'll see each other. But she's a real good friend. And I don't want to lose her. At least not to this. And damn sure not yet. But the tricky part always comes down to when. It's not if at the moment, it's when. And next time I meet her other half, I'll be ready. But to do what? Honestly, I don't even know.